Welcome to Relationship Nation. My name is Freddie Martin, and my husband, Wayne Martin, is my fourth husband.
And Freddie is my third significant relationship. I was married before, and then I lived with somebody, blended a family. That didn't make it. That was a bit of a train wreck. And it just was totally gut-wrenching, heartbreaking, everything you could imagine. And we wanted just to share with you our story about why we're actually doing this and why we created Relationship Nation.
We're very passionate about it because all of my life, my whole bucket list was to have a great marriage. My parents had a very passionate relationship, very much in love with each other, and I thought, oh, that looks easy. So when I was a teenager, I met my first husband. We were 16 and 19 and got married at 18 and 21, had 3 kids. And after 15 really difficult years, we finally just kind of shook hands and said, thanks for the 15, I'm out of here. And then, of course, because I was an 18-year-old mentally, but in a 34-year-old body, I went right out and met my second husband after 6 weeks of being just separated from my first husband. And that was a lovely, romantic, passionate relationship that was very, very difficult. And after a little over 7 years, finally ended that. And so had I learned anything? Oh, heck no. I had not learned anything. So then a couple weeks later, after my second husband and I had split up, I met my third husband. And after my divorce was final, which was coming pretty close, we got married. By the time we fell in love, got married and split up was 3.5 months. So I started getting a little smarter, and I looked in the mirror and went, you know what? You're the problem. You've got to fix you. You are the constant in all 3 of these relationships, and you can't be blaming other people. You just got to figure out what's going on with you. And so because of that, I had already started going into therapy with my second marriage because it was very, very difficult for me to be strong enough to leave. I had very low self-esteem, and we had a very much an off and on relationship. So I finally had to just be strong and just say, I'm done. I can't take the pain anymore. It's over. So because I had the therapy then, and after that, after I made that decision that I wasn't going to continue on to be doing these crazy relationships, I kept picking the same man, just a different face. And so with therapy, lots and lots of therapy, spending lots and lots of money, spending lots and lots of time, I finally realized that I had to be the chooser this time. I was always chosen before, and I was going to decide exactly who I wanted as a mate, and I was going to make a list, and I was going to be the chooser. So, Wayne, your story.
My story. Well, my story was I grew up in a family where my parents were very passionate. They had a lot of ups and downs, but they always had each other's back, and through thick and thin. And I also watched my grandparents live that way too. They went through a lot. They went through the Depression. They lost everything. They came back. They fought their way through, a lot of different difficulties in their life, but they always had each other's back. And so I, like you, thought that, I'm just going to find somebody really nice, and love conquers all, and got married. So I was going out, I had been dating, I had my heart broken by someone that I really thought would be really great for me, but that didn't really work out. And so I was kind of in a phase of searching, lost, and that. But then I really met somebody that was super nice, great person, and within 30 days, I asked her to marry me. So we ran off to Reno and got married, and we had a marriage for 9 years. The problem that we had is we didn't have that ability to communicate effectively. The other thing too is, even though I was loving 100%, I wasn't loving her in a style that she could feel it. And so eventually it just broke down, and it just didn't work out. And sadly, we had 2 little boys at the time, and it was just gut-wrenching, heartbreaking. I walked around for about a year as a zombie. It felt like a year anyway, but soon after that, of course, not doing enough personal work and therapy and reading and everything that goes with personal development and communication, I got into another relationship. We didn't get married this time, but we blended families, and it was very, very difficult after a while, and so we split up, and that was really tough, mainly because I fell in love with the children. There was a little girl involved, and I really loved her a lot, but when we split, it was kind of over, and it was tough. But I kept believing that, love was in store for me and that I was willing to do the work. And so I kept dating, and then I had a couple pop quizzes. But just like Freddie, I decided to do the homework and learn more about what makes a great marriage instead of just, having a love relationship. And so through that, eventually, after a couple pop quiz love affairs, is what I call them, and we'll go into that and how that occurs in the future. But I was able to really recognize that I needed certain aspects of my life in order to find love, find my soulmate, but have somebody that could go the distance with me. And that's totally different than the way most people date, make a commitment, and then try to figure it out.
Yeah.
So.
For me, I decided that I was going to be in control of this time. I analyzed why I chose certain types of men over and over again. I kept recreating that relationship with just a different face. And with all my therapy, and I did all kinds of different things, and I wrote down a very detailed list of exactly who I wanted in a relationship: age, height, weight, personality, family, spiritual, everything, just very, very detailed. And then I would sit in meditation and I would meditate on what he felt like. What I would ask, please show me what he feels like. And so Wayne and I we belonged to the same church, and we were both on the marketing committee at that time. And we were just really great friends. We've been friends for about a year and a half. And we talked about relationships, and we commiserated with each other when his broke up or he was dating somebody and all that kind of stuff. And then one time we were at an event, and he came over and he leaned into me to talk to me. And I went, oh, I feel him. I feel him. And I went, oh, boy, you're just crazy, Freddie. So then we hung out with a group of singles, and we used to always go out to dinner and a movie, and that was prior to cell phones. And we went out to dinner, and nobody else showed up. So it was just the two of us, and went, oh, we'll just go to the movies anyway. So we went to the movies, and in the movies, he held my hand. And I went, oh, no, it might actually be Wayne. So,
so
wow.
Through a lot of self-discovery and us doing our homework, and then having a good, clear idea of who we were looking for and the traits that we needed, it was like, oh, you're the one.
Yeah.
And so here we are 29 years later,
Yeah.
and that's really kind of our story. But the thing that we're bringing to you is we've spent probably $100,000 or more on figuring this out, and we've put a 4-part program, the masterclass, together, so you don't have to go through all the pain, all the reading, all that. We're going to show you very rapidly everything that we know because we broke that code for you. And so we're very excited to really share this information and share the journey with you. So thank you for showing up, and we're really excited to get going.